Hyunwoo and Seo-yeon led Hwang Ryong Group, supporting each other. They were not merely business partners, they were each other's most reliable companions and loving partners. And they had 3 lovely children, Ian, Yil, and Yijun. Their lives were perfectly unified. However, a shadow of jealousy still lurked in the darkness. Lee Ji-hoon, Hyunwoo's longtime rival and another potential successor to Hwang Ryong Group, was displeased with Seo-yeon and the children's presence. He began to hatch a new conspiracy to bring down Hyunwoo. Thanks, Jimin. It's all thanks to you. Seo-yeon smiled at Jimin. As Han Seo-yeon returned as the head design director of Hwang Ryong Group and began a new life with Lee Hyunwoo, a quiet happiness enveloped their surroundings. The children grew up healthy under Hyunwoo's warm care, and Seo-yeon freely pursued her dreams, proving her capabilities. However, a shadow of jealousy still lurked in the darkness. Lee Ji-hoon, Hyunwoo's longtime rival and another potential successor to Hwang Ryong Group, was displeased with Seo-yeon and the children's presence. You look tired. Don't overdo it. Take a break. Tonight's protagonist is you, Seo-yeon. Jimin patted Seo-yeon's shoulder. Lee Ji-hoon held a director position at Hwang Ryong Group, but had always envied Hyunwoo's overwhelming leadership and abilities. When he learned that Hyunwoo was the father of triplets and Seo-yeon was his lover, he saw it as a golden opportunity to bring Hyunwoo down. Ji-hoon intended to seize control of Hwang Ryong Group by using Hyunwoo as a weakness. He planned to propose Hyunwoo's dismissal to the board, claiming that Hyunwoo had tarnished the company's reputation due to his personal relationships. It was then, while Jimin was briefly talking to another colleague, an unfamiliar woman approached Seo-yeon. She was a middle-aged woman in a glamorous dress. Seo-yeon didn't recognize her face but felt a slight tension due to her dignified demeanor. Ji-hoon first began to dig into Seo-yeon's past. 3 years ago, the incident where she fell into Kim Young-hee's trap and spent a night at the hotel had been quietly buried without being reported by the media. But Ji-hoon used his intelligence network to uncover the truth. He found Kim Young-hee and blackmailed her, coercing her to expose Seo-yeon's past. Kim Young-hee, unable to resist Ji-hoon's threats, confessed everything. She was the one who had drugged Seo-yeon 3 years ago and lured her into Hyunwoo's room. You must be designer Han Seo-yeon. Right, I'm Kim Young-hee, one of the sponsors of this fashion week. I was truly impressed by your collection. Could we talk for a moment? Kim Young-hee smiled gracefully, offering Seo-yeon a glass of champagne. Ji-hoon recorded Kim Young-hee's testimony and fabricated Seo-yeon's past, attempting to portray her as a gold digger who approached Hyunwoo for his wealth. He anonymously leaked information to the media, distorting Seo-yeon's past and spreading articles claiming that Hyunwoo had tarnished the company's reputation due to his personal relationships. Seo-yeon found it difficult to refuse her offer. A conversation with a sponsor could be an important career opportunity. Yes, it would be an honor. Seo-yeon accepted the champagne glass she offered. She didn't notice the cold gaze hidden behind Kim Young-hee's smile. Hwang Ryong Group CEO Lee Hyunwoo cohabiting with a controversial woman from the past, the secret of the triplets' birth. Emerging designer Han Seo-yeon, was it a scheme to enter a chaebol family? Kim Young-hee led Seo-yeon to a quiet spot in a corner of the banquet hall. Several people were already seated there. All of them were unfamiliar faces to Seo-yeon. They offered her well wishes and praised her. Seo-yeon smiled awkwardly at their compliments. She felt an inexplicable sense of discomfort, but dismissed it due to her nervousness. As these sensational articles poured out, Hwang Ryong Group's stock price began to fall. The board was agitated, and shareholders demanded an explanation from Hyunwoo. Ji-hoon seized this opportunity to propose Hyunwoo's dismissal to the board, strengthening his own position. Kim Young-hee offered Seo-yeon several glasses of champagne. Seo-yeon found it awkward to refuse, but gradually felt her head becoming hazy. She thought it was due to the champagne's characteristic fizz, but an unknown heat began to rise in her body. Her vision blurred, and a buzzing sound filled her ears. Hyunwoo was enraged by the articles that exposed Seo-yeon's past and distorted her as having used him. He risked everything to protect Seo-yeon. He planned to hold a press conference to reveal the truth about Seo-yeon's past and expose Ji-hoon's conspiracy. Seo-yeon, are you okay? You don't look well. Kim Young-hee's voice seemed to come from a distance. Hyunwoo, I'm sorry that my past is causing harm to you and Hwang Ryong Group. I'll bear everything, Seo-yeon said to Hyunwoo with tears in her eyes. She feared that her past would once again shake her life. I'm fine. Seo Yeon managed to reply, but her body was already beyond her control. She felt dizzy along with an unknown heat. She tried to stand up but stumbled as her legs gave way. Hyunwoo took Seo Yeon's hand and comforted her. No, Seo Yeon, you are not alone. We will overcome this together. I will protect you and the children. Hyunwoo's voice held firmness and unwavering love. Seo Yeon, I'll escort you to your room. You'll have trouble going alone. Kim Young-hee took Seo Yeon's arm and supported her. Her smile was still kind, but it held a chilling sense of triumph. The two stood together at the press conference. Numerous reporters flashed their cameras, looking at them. Hyunwoo took the microphone and calmly began to speak. Today, I wish to clarify all the controversies surrounding me and Ms. Han Seo-yeon. 3 years ago, Ms. Han Seo-yeon fell into the trap of a person named Kim Young-hee, lost consciousness at a hotel, and mistakenly entered my room. That night, we spent the night together, unaware of each other's identities, and as a result, 3 precious children were born. Seo-yeon, supported by Kim Young-hee, left the banquet hall. Her consciousness was gradually fading. Kim Young-hee led Seo-yeon to a guest room at the end of the hotel corridor. She placed a key card in Seo-yeon's hand and said, "Rest here for a bit. I'll come back later." At Hyunwoo's shocking confession, the press conference hall buzzed with commotion. Hyunwoo then spoke about the pain and sacrifice Seo-yeon had endured raising the children alone all this time. And he said that Seo-yeon had proven her capabilities as the head design director of Hwang Ryong Group and had brought new happiness into his life. Kim Young-hee pushed Seo-yeon into the room and closed the door. A sinister smile played on her face. She had planned to lure another person, not Seo-yeon, into this room and use Seo-yeon to trap that person. But Seo-yeon knew nothing of this. She simply thought she was entering the room where she was supposed to rest. Ms. Han Seo-yeon is the most precious person to me, and Ian, Yil, and Yi-jun are my children and the future of Hwang Ryong Group. We truly love each other, and our love cannot be tarnished by any slander or distortion. Hyunwoo said firmly. As soon as Seo-yeon entered the room, she stumbled, unable to control her body. Her body was burning like a furnace, and her mind went completely blank. She instinctively sought something cool. The first thing her eyes fell upon was the bed. She staggered and collapsed onto the bed. Just then, Ji-hoon appeared from the back of the press conference hall, accompanied by bodyguards. His face was contorted with anger and an unknown madness. Her body was consumed by heat and an unknown desire. She tried to regain her senses, but the drug had already numbed her rationality. She let out a painful groan, tossing and turning. It's a lie, it's all a lie. Han Seo-yeon, you're nothing but a gold digger who approached Hyunwoo for his money. I know all about your past, Ji-hoon shouted, charging towards Hyunwoo and Seo-yeon. Just then, the guest room door quietly opened, and a man entered the room. He was Lee Hyunwoo, the young CEO of Hwang Ryong Group. Hyunwoo was known for his cold and perfectionist personality. He detested invasions of his private space and was also famous for not getting involved in scandals with women. Tonight, he had successfully concluded an important contract along with the successful completion of Hwangryong Fashion Week, and he returned to his room, his body weary. Hyunwoo hid Seo-yeon behind him and confronted Ji-hoon's bodyguards. Seo-yeon moved like a shadow beside Hyunwoo, subduing Ji-hoon's bodyguards. Her movements were swift and precise, and her eyes gleamed with killing intent. Hyunwoo also fought alongside Seo-yeon. He was no longer a weak CEO. He was a warrior who had grown strong to protect Seo-yeon and the children. As soon as Hyunwoo entered the room, he was startled by the faint silhouette of a woman in the darkness. He had not expected her presence. Hyunwoo frowned, seeing Seo-yeon suffering on the bed. He sensed something strange from her attire and behavior. Ji-hoon was flustered by Hyunwoo and Seo-yeon's powerful counterattack. He instinctively knew his plan had gone awry. In a final act of desperation, he brought out Kim Young-hee, whom he had hired to expose Seo-yeon's past to the reporters. "Who are you? Do you know where you are?" Hyunwoo asked coldly. His voice clearly expressed displeasure. "Ms. Kim Young-hee, please tell everyone about Han Seo-yeon's past. Tell everyone how she approached CEO Lee Hyunwoo and what the secret of the triplets' birth is." Ji-hoon shouted at Kim Young-hee. Seo-yeon heard Hyunwoo's voice and looked at him with blurred vision. Her eyes were filled with tears. She didn't know who he was, but she felt an inexplicable sense of stability and attraction towards him. She let out a painful groan and reached out to him. However, Kim Young-hee, contrary to Ji-hoon's expectations, remained silent. She had felt guilty seeing Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon's true love and deep maternal love for the children. She could no longer lie. She bowed her head and shed tears. "Help me! It's too hot," Seo-yeon managed to say. "I'm sorry. I was wrong. I lied under Executive Director Lee Ji-hoon's threats. 3 years ago, I drugged designer Han Seo-yeon and lured her into CEO Lee Hyun-woo's room. All of this was at Executive Director Lee Ji-hoon's instruction." Kim Young-hee confessed, sobbing, revealing the whole truth. Hyun-woo, seeing Seo-yeon's condition, instinctively knew she was drugged. He saw pain and an unknown desire in her eyes. Hyun-woo mistook her for someone else. He thought she was pretending to be drugged to seduce him. Hyun-woo tried to coldly turn away from her, but her desperate gaze and painful groans moved his heart. He saw genuine pain in her eyes. At Kim Young-hee's shocking confession, the press conference hall erupted into chaos. Reporters flashed their cameras at Ji-hoon, bombarding him with questions. Ji-hoon's face turned pale as his entire conspiracy was exposed to the world. He had nowhere left to run. He had always abstained from relationships with women, but tonight was different. Her hot body and desperate gaze numbed his rationality. He took her hand. Seo-yeon, relieved by his touch, burrowed into his embrace. Her hot body enveloped his cold one, and their hearts began to pound rapidly. The police arrived and arrested Ji-hoon and Kim Young-hee, and the press conference hall was once again filled with flashing cameras. Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon held hands and calmly answered all the reporters' questions. They revealed their true love and firm commitment to their family to the world. That night, Lee Hyun-woo and Han Seo-yeon, unaware of each other's identities, spent a fateful night. Seo-yeon, under the influence of the drug, lost control of her rationality, and Hyun-woo, drawn by her hot body and desperate gaze, could not refuse her. Their night was passionate, and their destinies were completely altered that night. Outside the hotel room window, only the faint moonlight illuminated their secret night. No one knew the truth of this night, and that night would bear an unexpected fruit. Lee Ji-hoon eventually received appropriate punishment for his crimes. He was dismissed from Hwang Ryong Group and subsequently faced a prosecution investigation. Kim Young-hee also received punishment for her crimes. Hwang Ryong Group overcame all crises through Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon's efforts, becoming a stronger and more respected company. As the faint morning sunlight filtered through the window, illuminating Lee Hyun-woo's hotel room, Han Seo-yeon awoke with an excruciating headache. The memories of last night were scattered and chaotic, like disjointed puzzle pieces. Only a burning heat, an inexplicable thirst, and an unfamiliar warmth remained vividly in her body. She stirred and her gaze fell upon the man lying next to her. His dark eyebrows, sharp nose, and intense presence hinted that he was no ordinary person. Seo-yeon's eyes widened. She had no idea where she was, or who this man was. Her mind went blank, and her heart began to pound violently. Hyun-woo approached Seo-yeon and embraced her. "Seo-yeon, it's all over now. You are my wife and the mother of these children, and we will be together forever." What have I done?" Seo-yeon shed tears in Hyun-woo's embrace. She had finally escaped the shadows of her past and found true love and happiness. Her life was no longer trapped in darkness. A bright and hopeful future with Hyun-woo and the children would unfold before her. Their love, strengthened by overcoming all adversities, grew even deeper. They had become a true family. Fear and shame engulfed her. She tried to recall the banquet last night, receiving a champagne glass from a woman named Kim Young-hee, and then losing consciousness. The events after that were hazy, like a dream. But the lingering sensations in her body proved that last night was no dream. She despaired at the thought of having lost her most precious possession to a stranger. As Lee Ji-hoon and Kim Young-hee's sordid conspiracy was exposed to the world and they faced justice, Lee Hyun-woo and Han Seo-yeon's family finally found true peace. Their honest confession and genuine demeanor at the press conference deeply moved the public, and Hwang Ryong Group solidified its position under Hyun-woo's leadership and Seo-yeon's steadfast support. Now, they were no longer just business partners or lovers, but the most precious family and life companions to each other. Hyun-woo was still in a deep sleep. His face, unlike his usual cold and perfect demeanor, was slightly disheveled. Seo-yeon thought she had to get out of this room before Hyun-woo woke up. She carefully got out of bed. Every muscle in her body screamed, but she endured the pain. She picked up her scattered clothes, trying to make as little noise as possible, and walked towards the door. The children grew up healthy, showered with the love of their father, Yoon-woo, and mother, Seo-yeon. Ian grew into a strong and righteous child, Yil into a bright and lovely child, and Yijun into a curious and playful child. They no longer felt their father's absence and happily played in the embrace of a complete family. Hyun-woo made an effort to spend time with the children whenever he could, despite his busy company schedule. He took the children to school, read bedtime stories with them, and showed himself to be a loving father by taking them camping or to amusement parks on weekends. Seo-yeon was deeply touched watching Hyun-woo. The moment she grasped the doorknob, she felt something under her foot. Seo-yeon looked down. It was the key card that Kim Young-hee had given her last night. She quickly picked up the card key and left the room. The hotel corridor was quiet, and no one saw her miserable state. She took the elevator down to the lobby and exited the hotel. The warm morning sunlight shone on her face, but her heart was as cold and frozen as midwinter. One evening, Hyun-woo took Seo-yeon and the children to a fancy restaurant for dinner. They looked like a perfectly happy family. Ian told Hyun-woo about his day at school, and Yil showed off a new dress Seo-yeon had made for her. Yijun kept playfully putting food in his mouth. Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon smiled at the children's bright faces and held hands. Meanwhile, Hyun-woo woke up shortly after Seo-yeon left. His eyes were cold, and his expression was complex. He clearly recalled the memories of last night, the woman who, as if drugged, had embraced him with her hot body, and himself, who had lost control of his rationality. He felt displeased at the thought of having stained his perfect life. Hyun-woo, all of this feels like a dream. I never imagined I could be this happy, Seo-yeon said, looking at Hyun-woo. Me neither. Seo-yeon, your and the children's arrival in my life is the greatest blessing. Hyun-woo kissed Seo-yeon's hand. Convinced by Hyun-woo's sincere persuasion, Seo-yeon finally accepted his offer. She prepared to showcase her exceptional talent to the world, once again as the head design director of Hwang Ryong Group. The children were delighted that their mother was starting work again. In particular, Yil playfully offered to be a model, wearing the clothes her mother designed. But their happy moment was short-lived, as an unexpected shadow fell once again. The restaurant door opened, and a man entered. He was Chairman Kang Ta-jun, a longtime shareholder of Hwang Ryong Group and an acquaintance of Hyun-woo's grandfather. Chairman Kang, being conservative, had been displeased with Hyun-woo getting into trouble with personal matters. He gave a cold stare upon seeing Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon together. He got out of bed and looked around. There was no trace of her left. Everything was clean, as if she had never existed. Hyun-woo frowned. He hadn't even properly seen her face, but her hot body and desperate gaze were deeply imprinted in his mind. Chairman Kang approached Hyun-woo and spoke coldly. Executive Director Lee Hyun-woo, you're neglecting company management and indulging in personal pleasures. Do you think this is befitting of Hwang Ryong Group's CEO? Who exactly was she? Why did she come into my room? Hyun-woo's face hardened at Chairman Kang's rude demeanor, but he tried to remain calm, not wanting to cause a scene in front of the children. Chairman Kang, this is a private occasion. Let's discuss company matters at another time. Hyun-woo found a business card on the bedside table. It was a business card he had received at the banquet last night. The words Lee Hyun-woo, CEO of Hwang Ryong Group, were clearly printed on it. He held the business card in his hand, lost in thought. He had thought she had deliberately approached him to seduce him, but at the same time, he had seen genuine pain in her desperate eyes. He couldn't shake the suspicion that she might not have intentionally approached him. A private occasion? Is being with this woman and these children a private occasion? Do you think I don't know this woman's past? A gold digger who secretly entered your room 3 years ago and spent the night? And the children of unknown origin she bore cannot become the mistress and successors of Hwang Ryong Group. Chairman Kang openly criticized Seo-yeon and the children. Hyun-woo called his chief secretary and instructed him to secure all CCTV footage from the banquet hall and around the hotel rooms from last night. He had to uncover the woman's identity. He could no longer ignore her presence, which had created an unknown crack in his perfect life. Seo-yeon's face turned pale at Chairman Kang's insulting words. The children, frightened by Chairman Kang's sharp voice, clung to Seo-yeon's clothes and hid. Hyun-woo could no longer tolerate Chairman Kang's rudeness. His eyes blazed with anger. A few weeks later, Seo-yeon noticed strange changes in her body. Nausea and extreme fatigue washed over her. She visited an obstetrician, just in case, and she heard shocking news from the doctor. Chairman Kong. What are you saying, Ms. Han Seo-yeon is my wife, and these children are my precious children. I will never forgive your rude remarks. Hyunwoo stood up abruptly and shouted. His voice held firmness and a strong will to protect his beloved family. Congratulations, you're pregnant. Chairman Kang was taken aback by Hyunwoo's unexpected counterattack, but then scoffed. The executive director has completely fallen for that woman. It's even unclear if these children are really yours. Did that woman perhaps have a relationship with another man and then foist the children on you? Seo-yeon was shocked by the doctor's words and couldn't say anything. She couldn't believe she was pregnant. But the doctor's next words plunged her into even greater shock. Chairman Kang's insulting remarks pierced Seo-yeon like a dagger. She felt humiliated at having to endure such insults in front of her children. She teared up and bowed her head. The children, seeing their mother's sad expression, burst into tears. And there are 3 fetuses? You're having triplets. Hyunwoo's anger reached its peak at Chairman Kang's shameless remarks. He tried to lunge at Chairman Kang, but Seo-yeon grabbed his arm and stopped him. Hyunwoo, please calm down. The children are watching. Triplets. Seo-yeon couldn't believe her ears. She was devastated by the fact that she was pregnant with triplets from a single night with that stranger. Tears flowed endlessly from her eyes. She was overwhelmed by despair rather than joy. She was an emerging designer who had just started her career. It was impossible for her to raise 3 children alone. And she didn't even know who their father was. At Seo-yeon's words, Hyunwoo barely suppressed his anger. He coldly warned Chairman Kang. Chairman Kang, I will hold you legally responsible for all your remarks. You have just insulted my family. Seo-yeon confessed this to Jimin. Jimin was aghast at Seo-yeon's shocking confession. Seo-yeon, what are you talking about, triplets? Then who is the father of these children? Chairman Kang scoffed at Hyunwoo's warning. Legal responsibility. Are you saying you'll sue me? I am one of Hwang Ryong Group's oldest shareholders. Don't you dare defy me. If you don't send this woman and these children away immediately, I will propose your dismissal to the board. I don't know. He was just a stranger. Last night, when I was drugged, it was because of that woman, Kim Young-hee. She definitely set me up. Seo-yeon sobbed. Hyunwoo did not back down from Chairman Kang's threat. Chairman Kang, your arrogance will ultimately lead to your downfall. I will never abandon my family. If you try to dismiss me, I will expose all your corruption to the world. Hyunwoo's eyes blazed. Jimin was enraged by Seo-yeon's words. She instinctively knew of Kim Young-hee's conspiracy. That Kim Young-hee, she definitely did this out of jealousy for your collection. We won't let her get away with this. Chairman Kang was flustered by Hyunwoo's resolute demeanor. He had not expected Hyunwoo to dare defy him. He glared at Hyunwoo for a moment, then finally left the restaurant with an angry expression. But Seo-yeon shook her head. No, Jimin, that's not important right now. I don't know what to do. How am I going to raise these children? Even after Chairman Kang left, Hyunwoo remained consumed by anger for a while. He embraced Seo-yeon and the children, comforting them. Seo-yeon, children, I'm sorry. I failed to protect you. Jimin's heart ached at Seo-yeon's tears. She took Seo-yeon's hand and comforted her. It's okay, Seo-yeon. Don't worry too much. We can get through this together. Children are a blessing. Be strong. Seo-yeon sobbed in Hyunwoo's arms. No, Hyunwoo, you did your best. It's okay. After much deliberation, Seo-yeon decided to keep the children. She couldn't give up on her babies. She thought these children were the new meaning of life given to her, but she didn't want to tell anyone about this, especially not the father of the children. She decided to raise the children alone, far away from him. She decided to give up her career, abandon everything, and start a new life. This incident brought another trial to Hyunwoo and Seo-yeon's family. Chairman Kang formally proposed Hyunwoo's dismissal to the board, and controversy over Hyunwoo's leadership resurfaced within Hwang Ryong Group. Conservative directors and shareholders criticized Hyunwoo for tarnishing the company's reputation with personal matters and demanded his resignation. She asked Jimin to keep this a secret. Jimin respected Seo-yeon's decision and helped her. Seo-yeon quietly packed everything and prepared to leave for a place where no one knew her. She intended to leave her past behind and start a new life under a new name. In her heart, love for her children coexisted with an unknown fear. She believed all of this was her destiny. Hyun-woo decided to fight back against Chairman Kang's attack. He risked everything to protect his family and Hwang Ryong Group. Seo-yeon became a strong ally by Hyun-woo's side. She dug into Chairman Kang's past corruption and found evidence that he had privately misappropriated Hwang Ryong Group's assets. Meanwhile, Hyun-woo confirmed Seo-yeon's face through CCTV footage analysis. But he couldn't identify her. She was not on any of the banquet's invitation lists, and her whereabouts seemed to have been thoroughly erased. He was even more confused by the fact that she had appeared and disappeared like a ghost. Hyun-woo stood before the board with the evidence Seo-yeon had found. He exposed Chairman Kang's corruption and fought to protect his family's and Hwang Ryong Group's honor. The board was shocked by the evidence of Chairman Kang's corruption presented by Hyun-woo. Chairman Kang eventually had no choice but to admit his crimes. He was dismissed from his directorship and stripped of all his shareholder qualifications in Hwang Ryong Group. Who exactly is she? Why is she trying to hide everything about herself? Chairman Kang's downfall caused a huge ripple effect in Hwang Ryong Group. But at the same time, it served to solidify Hyun-woo's leadership. Hyun-woo regained the trust of the board and shareholders, and led Hwang Ryong Group to become a stronger and more transparent company. Hyun-woo tried to forget her presence, which had created a crack in his perfect life. But her hot body and desperate gaze kept lingering in his mind. He felt an inexplicable attraction to her. He was seized by a strong urge to find her. He had to uncover the truth hidden behind her. Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon overcame all adversities and finally found true happiness. They healed each other's wounds, supported each other, and completed their true love. The children grew up happily, and their family became even stronger. They ushered in a new era for Hwang Ryong Group and gave hope and courage to many people. Now they were no longer just a CEO and a designer. They were each other's strongest companions and everything in their lives. Their love was a true love that transcended everything. He hired a private detective and instructed him to track her down. He didn't know what impact her presence would have on his life, but he could no longer ignore her. He had to find her. And when he found her, his life would undoubtedly take an unpredictable turn, along with the surprising gift of triplets. Following Chairman Kang Tae-jun's downfall, Lee Hyun-woo solidified his management control over Hwang Ryong Group, demonstrating stable leadership. Under Hyun-woo's transparent and ethical management policies, Hwang Ryong Group grew into a model corporation fulfilling its social responsibilities. Han Seo-yeon, as the head design director, also fully showcased her capabilities, and the innovative designs born from her hands further elevated Hwang Ryong Group's brand value. Their lives achieved perfect harmony, enjoying happy days. The triplets, Ian, Yil, and Yijun, grew up bright and healthy, showered with the overflowing love of their father and mother, and were now approaching kindergarten age. Han Seo-yeon left her familiar Seoul and settled in a small fishing village on the South Sea. The vast expanse of the ocean and the tranquil sound of waves soothed her anxious heart, if only a little. There, she began a new life under the name Park Sun-young, where no one knew her past. Life in an unfamiliar place was awkward and difficult in every way, but the 3 children growing inside her gave her the courage and hope to live. She rented a small cottage in a quiet corner of this village. All she had were a few clothes from Seoul and a small amount of money, but she was ready to do anything for her children. One evening, Hyun-woo was reviewing a report on Hwang Ryong Group's future growth engines in his study. Seo-yeon was sketching new collection designs beside him. The children were playing with toys in the living room, and faint laughter reached the study. Hyun-woo briefly put down his pen and looked at Seo-yeon. Her profile was beautiful, and her eyes were filled with passion. Deep love and gratitude welled up in his heart for her. During the day, she worked odd jobs at a small restaurant to make a living, and at night, she handmade clothes for her children or drew pictures. She didn't want to let her exceptional design talent go to waste, but raising her children was her top priority now. She was always careful, fearing her true identity might be discovered. She was afraid that Kim Young-hee or that man, Lee Hyun-woo of Hwang Ryong Group, might come looking for her. She believed she had to stake everything to keep this secret for the sake of her children. Seo-yeon, thanks to you, I've been able to come this far. You are my most steadfast partner, and everything in my life, Hyun-woo said softly, taking her hand. Her pregnancy was not smooth. The fact that she was carrying triplets put an immense strain on her body. Morning sickness was severe, and she quickly became exhausted. But she never once thought of giving up on her children. Instead, the tiny lives stirring within her awakened a strong maternal love. She constantly talked to her babies and found happiness in their every small movement. Jimin visited Seo-yeon once a month to help her. She was Seo-yeon's only confidant and most steadfast supporter. Jimin felt sorry for Seo-yeon's struggles, but admired her strong will. Seo-yeon smiled at Hyunwoo's warm words. "The same goes for you, Hyunwoo. Thanks to you, I was able to pursue my dreams again. You gave me a new life." "Seo-yeon, you're truly amazing. How do you manage all of this by yourself?" Jimin said, looking at Seo-yeon's swollen belly. The two thus confirmed their love for each other, spending happy moments. They had formed a complete family with Ian, Yil, and Yijun, and they believed that no further shadows would darken their lives. "It's okay, Jimin, because I have these children. Seeing them gives me strength." Seo-yeon smiled faintly. Her eyes held both pain and strong maternal love. However, fate sometimes tested them in unexpected ways. The next morning, Hyunwoo was preparing for work as usual. Seo-yeon was getting the children ready to take them to kindergarten. Just then, an urgent call came from Hyunwoo's personal secretary. Childbirth was much harder than expected. After a long labor, she brought 3 children into the world. The first was a son, the second a daughter, and the third was another son. All 3 children were healthy, but her body was battered. Seo-yeon cried as she held her 3 children in her arms. She vowed to dedicate everything to these tiny lives. She named them Ian, Yil, and Yijun. The surname Lee was taken from their biological father's surname, but she kept that fact a secret. Executive Director. It's a disaster. Hwang Ryong Group's new technology patent seems to have been leaked to an overseas company. The secretary's voice held urgency and despair. After the children were born, Seo-yeon's life became even busier. She cared for the children day and night and worked at the restaurant whenever she could to earn money. Every day felt like a battle, but each small smile and coo from her children was more precious than any treasure in the world. Watching her children, she was certain she had made the right choice. She wanted to provide them with the best possible environment. Hyunwoo was shocked by the secretary's words and froze. The new technology patent was the core technology that would secure Hwang Ryong Group's future. If this technology were leaked to an overseas company, Hwang Ryong Group would undoubtedly suffer immense losses. Hyunwoo immediately instructed his secretary to ascertain the situation and mobilize the entire security team to track the leak's path. Meanwhile, in Seoul, Lee Hyunwoo was desperately trying to find Seo-yeon. The memories of that night never left his mind for a moment. He was confused by her sudden appearance and disappearance from his perfect, disciplined life. At first, he thought she had tried to seduce him, but the genuine pain he had seen in her desperate eyes left a question in his mind. He couldn't shake the suspicion that she might not have intentionally approached him. Seo-yeon, seeing Hyunwoo's grave expression, instinctively knew what had happened. "Hyunwoo, what's wrong? Why do you look like that?" Hyunwoo hired a private detective and instructed him to track her down, but she had vanished without a trace, like a ghost. The CCTV footage from the banquet hall was blurry, and the keycard she had used was registered as disposable. She had meticulously erased all traces. The private detective eventually returned with no results. Hyunwoo informed Seo-yeon about the new technology patent leak. Seo-yeon was shocked by Hyunwoo's words. She knew how important Hwang Ryong Group's core technology was, just like her own designs. She was ready to do anything to help Hyunwoo. "I apologize. Executive Director, we couldn't find any trace of her. It's as if she never existed," the private detective said, bowing his head. Hyunwoo felt frustrated by the detective's words. He sat in his office, deep in thought. Her presence, which had suddenly appeared and disappeared from his perfect life, left a huge void in his heart. He was seized by a strong urge to find her. He had to uncover the truth hidden behind her. As time passed, an unknown longing and obsession for her grew in Hyunwoo's heart. He couldn't even properly remember her face, but her warm presence and desperate gaze constantly appeared in his dreams. He felt an inexplicable attraction to her. He believed that only by finding her could he escape all this anxiety and emptiness. Hyunwoo nodded at Seo-yeon's suggestion. "Thank you. Seo-yeon, your help is desperately needed. We must overcome this crisis together." However, his family began to pressure him about his marriage. As the successor to Hwang Ryong Group, he needed to marry quickly and produce an heir. His parents constantly arranged blind dates, and Hyunwoo suffered from their persistence. The two began to investigate Hwang Ryong Group's new technology patent leak incident together. Seo-yeon used her excellent information analysis skills and network to track the leak's path. She found clues that illegal transactions with an overseas company had occurred, and she instinctively knew that Ji-hoon's remaining factions were involved. Hyun-woo, it's time for you to get married. How old are you? And you're still alone? Don't you need a child to inherit Hwangryong Group? His mother said with a worried voice. Hyun-woo, all of this doesn't seem like a coincidence. Ji-hoon's remaining factions might be trying to get revenge on us. Seo-yeon told Hyun-woo her suspicion. Mother, I have no intention of getting married yet, and the succession of Hwangryong Group is my concern. Hyun-woo replied coldly. Hyun-woo nodded at Seo-yeon's words. He anticipated that even though Ji-hoon was in prison, his remaining factions would still be targeting Hwangryong Group. The two devised a plan to find Ji-hoon's remaining factions and reclaim the new technology patent. Your concern? Then how long do we have to wait since you're dragging your feet like this? There's a lot of talk on the board. You need to quickly establish a stable family and resolve the succession issue, his father said firmly. They needed to secure decisive evidence to prove the illegal transactions with the overseas company. Seo-yeon obtained internal information from the overseas company through her informants, and Hyun-woo mobilized the legal team to prepare for a lawsuit against the overseas company. They intended to find evidence that Ji-hoon's remaining factions had leaked the new technology patent and bring them to justice. Hyun-woo was stressed by his parents' pressure. He wanted to live his life as he wished, but the position of CEO of Hwangryong Group demanded a lot of responsibility from him. He reluctantly went on the blind dates his parents arranged, but his heart was filled only with the image of that unknown woman. He couldn't feel the same special emotions he felt for her from any other woman. As the investigation progressed, Hyun-woo was once again impressed by Seo-yeon's exceptional abilities. She was not merely the head design director. She was a true problem solver who responded calmly in crisis situations and displayed excellent analytical skills. Her presence was a great source of strength for Hyun-woo. He dealt with the women he met on blind dates mechanically. They were all beautiful and capable women, but none of them moved his heart. He couldn't feel sincerity from them. They all seemed to be approaching him for his background and wealth. Hyun-woo felt disillusioned by them. However, Ji-hoon's remaining factions were far more meticulous and cunning than expected. They thoroughly erased their traces and launched a counterattack to confuse Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon. They hacked into Hwangryong Group's core servers to leak internal information and spread fake news defaming Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon. He sometimes went to the beach alone, lost in thought, looking at the vast ocean. The image that came to his mind was that of the unknown woman. He couldn't even properly remember her face, but her gaze and warmth remained vividly in his heart. He felt an inexplicable sense of comfort and attraction to her. He believed that only by finding her could he escape all this anguish. Hwangryong Group CEO Lee Hyun-woo. New technology leaked due to internal corruption. Designer Han Seo-yeon led the sale of Hwangryong Group's core technology overseas. Time flew by quickly, and 3 years had passed. Seo-yeon's triplets had grown up healthy and lovely. Ian, Yil, and Yijun were 3 years old, and they grew up bright and healthy, showered with their mother's love. They all had lovely appearances, resembling their mother, but at the same time, they had intense eyes that resembled someone else. As such malicious fake news poured out, Hwangryong Group's stock price once again began to plummet. The board was agitated, and shareholders demanded an explanation from Hyun-woo. Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon once again came under intense media attack. Seo-yeon was happy watching her children, but at the same time, she was plagued by guilt. The fact that she couldn't tell her children about their biological father pained her heart. She felt sorry for her children, but she believed she had to keep her secret until the end. She was ready to do anything for her children. She was ready to take any risk for their safety. Hyun-woo, I think all of this is my fault. I'm sorry that Hwangryong Group is in crisis again because of me, Seo-yeon said to Hyun-woo with tears in her eyes. Mommy, shall we go see the sea today? Ian looked up at Seo-yeon with clear eyes. Hyun-woo took Seo-yeon's hand and comforted her. No, Seo-yeon, it's not your fault. All of this is a conspiracy orchestrated by Ji-hoon's remaining factions. We can overcome this crisis together. Yes, Mommy. Let's go build sandcastles, Yil said with a bright smile. The two decided to reveal the truth against the media attacks. Hyun-woo held a press conference, and Seo-yeon stood by his side. Hyun-woo took the microphone and calmly began to speak. Today, I wish to reveal all the truth about Hwangryong Group's new technology patent leak incident. All of this is a conspiracy orchestrated by Ji-hoon's remaining factions to destroy me and Hwang Ryung Group. Me too, me too! Yi-jun shouted excitedly, jumping up and down. Hyun-woo then publicly released all the evidence Seo-yeon had found records of illegal transactions with an overseas company, evidence of hacking, and circumstances indicating that Ji-hoon's remaining factions had spread fake news. All of this constituted decisive evidence clearly proving the wrongdoings committed by Ji-hoon's remaining factions. Seo-yeon smiled at her children's bright faces. She went to the beach with her children. Under the warm sunlight, the three children played happily in the sand. Seo-yeon was happy watching her children, but at the same time, she felt an unknown anxiety. She knew that one day, her children would ask about their biological father. And when that day came, what would she say? She sighed deeply. She believed all of this was her destiny. Hyun-woo introduced Seo-yeon to the reporters and spoke about her exceptional abilities and dedication. Designer Han Seo-yeon risked everything to save me and Hwang Ryung Group in this crisis. She worked day and night to uncover the truth of this incident and find Ji-hoon's remaining factions. She is my most precious companion and the future of Hwang Ryung Group. She hoped that the children's biological father, Lee Hyun-woo, would not reappear in her life. If he found out her secret, her life would undoubtedly be thrown into chaos again. She was ready to endure anything for her children. But fate often takes unexpected turns, and their reunion was already an unavoidable reality. Seo-yeon was moved by Hyun-woo's warm words. She firmly held Hyun-woo's hand and stood steadfastly by his side. Her eyes held strong determination instead of fear. 3 years had passed swiftly, and Han Seo-yeon's triplets, Ian, Yil, and Yi-jun, were now playful 3-year-olds. In a small fishing village on the South Sea, Seo-yeon lived under the name Park Sun-young, raising her children in secret. She worked at a restaurant during the day and made clothes for her children at night. But a shadow of anxiety always loomed in her heart. She feared that past misfortunes might once again disrupt her peaceful life. However, her children's bright smiles gave her the strength to endure all the hardships in the world. Ian possessed strong leadership. Yil had adorable charm, and Yi-jun was full of innocent curiosity. They all had lovely appearances, resembling their mother, but sometimes their intense eyes sparkled, reminiscent of an unfamiliar someone. Just then, private security guards hired by Ji-hoon's remaining factions burst in from the back of the press conference hall. They tried to harm Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon. Hyun-woo hid Seo-yeon behind him and confronted the private security guards. His movements were swift and precise, and his eyes blazed. He was a warrior who had grown strong to protect Seo-yeon and the children. One day, it was during the village festival. Seo-yeon had promised to take her children to see a puppet show. The children were full of anticipation. "Mommy, let's go quickly. We can't miss the puppet show." Ian pulled his mother's hand, and Yil and Yi-jun also jumped excitedly. Seo-yeon smiled at her children's excitement and headed to the festival grounds under the warm sunlight. The festival grounds were bustling with people, and lively music echoed everywhere. The children's eyes sparkled at the dazzling sights they had never seen before, exclaiming in wonder. Seo-yeon also fought alongside Hyun-woo. She displayed her exceptional combat skills, subduing the private security guards. The two showed perfect teamwork. Defeating all the guards, Ian, Yil, and Yi-jun were watching the press conference on TV in the living room. They were amazed to see their mom and dad fighting together, but at the same time, they instinctively knew that their mom and dad were fighting to protect them. "Mommy, cotton candy over there." Yil spotted a cotton candy stall and pointed with her finger. "Me too, I want to eat it too." Yi-jun also shouted. Not to be outdone, Seo-yeon, unable to resist her children's pleas, bought them cotton candy. The children laughed happily, their faces covered in cotton candy. Seo-yeon momentarily forgot the shadows of the past and was immersed in happiness. The police arrived and arrested Ji-hoon's remaining factions and the private security guards, and the press conference hall was once again filled with flashing cameras. Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon held hands and calmly answered all the reporters' questions. They revealed their true love and firm commitment to their family to the world. It was then, as the puppet show's start time approached, Seo-yeon took her children's hands and hurried towards the performance area. While squeezing through the crowd, Yi-jun's hand suddenly slipped from hers. "Yi-jun, Yi-jun!" Seo-yeon shouted. But Yi-jun had already disappeared into the crowd. Seo-yeon, flustered, held onto Ian and Yil and looked around frantically. Her heart pounded violently. like drumming feet. This incident caused another huge ripple effect in Hwang Group's history. Ji-hoon's remaining factions all faced justice, and Hwang Group's new technology patent was safely protected. Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon overcame all crises and led Hwang Group to become an even stronger and more respected company. Their love, strengthened by overcoming all adversities, grew even deeper. They had become a true family, and no further shadows would darken their lives. Yi-jun. Where are you? Seo-yeon called out Yi-jun's name at the top of her lungs. Ian and Yil, sensing their mother's anxious expression, also clung to her close, terrified. As the Hwang Group's new technology patent leak incident was resolved and all of Lee Ji-hoon's remaining factions faced justice, Lee Hyun-woo and Han Seo-yeon's family finally seemed to regain true peace and stability. Hwang Group, under Hyun-woo's leadership and Seo-yeon's exceptional abilities, solidified its position as an even stronger and more respected corporation. Their love, overcoming all adversities and trials, grew even stronger, and the triplets, Ian, Yil, and Yi-jun, grew up bright and healthy amidst the overflowing love of their father and mother. They were now approaching elementary school age, and Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon spent happy days, anticipating their children's new beginning. Just then, a man appeared through the crowd, holding Yi-jun's hand. He was saying something to Yi-jun, and Yi-jun was looking up at the man, smiling brightly. Seo-yeon felt an inexplicable sense of déjà vu looking at the man's back. And the moment the man turned his head, holding Yi-jun in his arms, Seo-yeon gasped. One evening, Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon were watching a movie with the children in the living room. The children sat between their mom and dad, eating popcorn and laughing happily. Hyun-woo stroked the children's heads, and Seo-yeon held their small hands. They looked like a perfectly happy family. Hyun-woo smiled at Seo-yeon. His eyes were filled with deep love and gratitude for her. It was Lee Hyun-woo, the CEO of Hwang Group and the biological father of the triplets, the man who, 3 years ago, had completely changed her life with a single night. He looked at Seo-yeon in surprise. His eyes held confusion mixed with an unknown shock. He looked back and forth between Seo-yeon and the 3 children standing before him. Yi-jun, held in Hyun-woo's arms, was naturally touching his face, as if he were his own father. Seo-yeon, thanks to you and the children coming into my life, I've been able to be this happy. It all feels like a dream, Hyun-woo said softly, kissing Seo-yeon's hand. Lee Hyun-woo felt his whole body stiffen from the shock. He had desperately searched for that unknown woman 3 years ago, but had never found her. But now, she had appeared before his eyes. And by her side were 3 children who looked exactly like him. In particular, Yi-jun, held in his arms, made him feel as if he was looking in a mirror. Seo-yeon teared up at Hyun-woo's warm words. The same goes for you, Hyun-woo. Thanks to you, I was able to pursue my dreams again and form such a complete family. You gave me a new life. You are Park Sun-young, right? Hyun-woo managed to speak. He knew Seo-yeon's new name. It was the recent identity information the private detective had brought him. Of course, the detective didn't know she was the mother of triplets. The two thus confirmed their love for each other, spending happy moments. They believed that no further shadows would darken their lives. But fate sometimes brought the greatest trials at the happiest moments. Seo-yeon couldn't say anything to Hyun-woo's question. She was terrified that her secret had been exposed. Her face turned pale, and her body trembled subtly. She wanted to take the children and run away. But it was already too late. Hyun-woo's gaze was already fixed on the children. A few days later, Hyun-woo attended an important board meeting of Hwang Group. The meeting seemed to be proceeding smoothly, but suddenly the chairman of the board posed an unexpected question to Hyun-woo. Ian, Yil, Yi-jun. These children, who are they? Hyun-woo asked, looking back and forth between Ian and Yil while holding Yi-jun. His voice held a disbelieving bewilderment mixed with an unknown excitement. CEO Lee Hyun-woo, please clarify the recent paternity lawsuit filed by former Executive Director Lee Ji-hoon regarding the triplets. Former Executive Director Lee Ji-hoon claims that the triplets' biological father is not CEO Lee Hyun-woo and is demanding custody and parental rights. The chairman's voice held coldness mixed with an accusatory tone. Ian bravely answered Hyun-woo's question. I'm Ian. Yil is my little sister, and Yi-jun is my little brother. Ian said clearly, as if boasting, Hyun-woo was shocked by the chairman's words and froze. He was enraged that Lee Ji-hoon was still trying to get revenge on him even from prison. But at the same time, he was flustered by the unexpected attack of a paternity lawsuit for the children. He was ready to do anything to protect Seo-yeon and the children. Yil looked up at Hyun-woo and smiled brightly. Mister, you look just like Yi-jun. Are you our daddy? Chairman, former executive director Lee Ji-hoon's claim is an absurd lie. The triplets are my biological children. All of this is a conspiracy orchestrated by former executive director Lee Ji-hoon to destroy me and my family. Hyun-woo shouted firmly. Seo-yeon's face flushed at Yil's innocent question. Hyun-woo, shocked by Yil's question, stared at Seo-yeon. His eyes held a strong yearning to know the truth. Seo-yeon instinctively knew she could no longer hide this secret. Her heart pounded violently. She bowed her head, unable to say anything. However, the chairman of the board did not believe Hyun-woo's assertion. CEO Lee Hyun-woo, your claim lacks evidence. Former executive director Lee Ji-hoon claims to have decisive evidence that the triplets' biological father is not you. We demand a clear explanation on this matter. Hyun-woo realized the whole truth in Seo-yeon's silence. He knew that the one night with that unknown woman 3 years ago was not a simple mistake, and he was aghast at the fact that that night had borne the amazing fruit of 3 children. Complex emotions intertwined in his heart: surprise, joy, anger, and an unknown confusion. Hyun-woo was enraged by the chairman's words. He had expected Lee Ji-hoon to try to get revenge on him in some way, but he never imagined that he would use the despicable method of a paternity lawsuit for the children. He vowed to win this fight to protect Seo-yeon and the children. Hyun-woo, is there anything I can do to help my intelligence might be able to figure out the leak's path? Seo-yeon said firmly. After the board meeting, Hyun-woo informed Seo-yeon about Lee Ji-hoon's paternity lawsuit. Seo-yeon was shocked by Hyun-woo's words, her face turning pale. She feared that her past would once again shake her children's lives. He approached Seo-yeon, still holding Yi-jun in his arms, his gaze unwavering, fixed on Seo-yeon. These children, are they my children, Ian, Yil, Yi-jun? Are all 3 of these children mine? Hyun-woo's voice was low and trembling. Hyun-woo, I think all of this is my fault. I'm sorry that the children have to suffer like this because of me. Seo-yeon said with tears in her eyes. Seo-yeon looked up and met Hyun-woo's gaze. Tears streamed down her face. She could no longer hide her emotions. Yes, that's right. These children. They're your children. Seo-yeon confessed, sobbing. Hyun-woo took Seo-yeon's hand and comforted her. No, Seo-yeon, it's not your fault. All of this is Lee Ji-hoon's despicable conspiracy. We can overcome this crisis together. I will protect you and the children. Hyun-woo, shocked by Seo-yeon's confession, held Yi-jun even tighter. He couldn't believe the reality unfolding before his eyes. He was devastated by the fact that he had become the father of 3 children from one night with that unknown woman 3 years ago. Along with joy, an unknown guilt washed over him. He ached imagining how much pain she must have endured raising 3 children alone all this time. The two decided to fight back against Lee Ji-hoon's paternity lawsuit. They hired lawyers and began collecting all evidence that could prove the children's biological relationship. Hyun-woo submitted his DNA test results and the children's DNA test results to the court. He was able to clearly prove that the children were his biological offspring. He felt an inexplicable warmth as he looked at the children. They were his flesh and blood. His children. He gently stroked their small faces, tears welling in his eyes. The sudden appearance of 3 children in his perfect and disciplined life would undoubtedly change his life entirely. However, Lee Ji-hoon was far more cunning and meticulous than expected. Through the private detective he had hired, he once again distorted Seo-yeon's past, spreading rumors to the media that she was a gold digger. He also once again highlighted the incident 3 years ago where Seo-yeon drugged entered Hyun-woo's room, claiming that she had intentionally approached Hyun-woo to have children. You lied to me. Why did you hide this from me all this time? Hyun-woo asked Seo-yeon. His voice held anger mixed with hurt. Han Seo-yeon, was it a planned pregnancy to enter a Chaebol family? CEO Lee Hyun-woo, tricked by a gold digger into becoming the father of triplets. Seo-yeon bowed her head, sobbing. I'm sorry. I didn't want to burden you, and I was afraid that you would hate me. As such, malicious articles poured out. public opinion once again fell into confusion. Seo-yeon struggled with the media attacks, but Hyun-woo was a steadfast support by her side. He risked everything to protect Seo-yeon's honor. Hyun-woo's heart softened at Seo-yeon's tears. He could guess how much pain she must have gone through raising triplets alone. He couldn't resent her. Instead, he felt sorry for her. He took her hand and embraced her. Hyun-woo held a press conference and exposed all of Lee Ji-hoon's lies. He once again emphasized the fact that Seo-yeon had been drugged 3 years ago due to Kim Young-hee's scheme, and that he had met her by chance. He also publicly released the children's DNA test results, clearly proving that the children were his biological offspring. "I'm sorry, Seo-yeon. I made things difficult for you. Please forgive me," Hyun-woo whispered, gently stroking her hair. "Former executive director Lee Ji-hoon is trying to destroy me and my family out of revenge for his crimes. He is slandering my wife and children with lies and defamation. I will hold former executive director Lee Ji-hoon legally responsible for all his wrongdoings and protect my family," Hyun-woo shouted firmly. In Hyun-woo's warm embrace, Seo-yeon poured out all the emotions she had suppressed. Her tears didn't stop. Hyun-woo wiped away her tears and looked at the children. His face no longer held confusion or anger. Only love and responsibility filled it. He realized that he could never give up on these children and Seo-yeon in his life. Seo-yeon teared up beside Hyun-woo. She knew how much effort Hyun-woo was putting in to protect her and the children. She firmly held Hyun-woo's hand and stood steadfastly by his side. Ian, Yil, and Yijun's eyes sparkled with wonder as they watched their mom and dad embracing. They didn't understand the situation yet, but they felt happiness on their mom and dad's faces. They liked seeing their mom and dad together. They knew that their family had finally become one. The court battle proceeded fiercely. Lee Ji-hoon, through his lawyers, constantly harped on Seo-yeon's past. He highlighted the fact that Seo-yeon had raised the children alone, claiming that she was incapable of properly raising them. However, Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon calmly responded to all attacks. Hyun-woo proved Seo-yeon's exceptional abilities and deep love for the children, and Seo-yeon showed that her past would never be an issue in raising the children. Amidst the bustling crowd of the festival, Lee Hyun-woo, Han Seo-yeon, and their triplets had their fateful reunion. Their lives were completely changed that night, and it was clear that a new chapter was about to begin. The unexpected gift of triplets would bring them new love, happiness, and countless challenges. But they were no longer alone. They were ready to face everything together. At a crucial moment, Hyun-woo publicly released Kim Young-hee's confession recording file in court regarding the incident 3 years ago where Kim Young-hee drugged Seo-yeon and lured her into his room. This recording file was decisive evidence that clearly proved all of Lee Ji-hoon's claims were false. The courtroom buzzed with commotion, and Lee Ji-hoon despaired as all his conspiracies crumbled. Amidst the bustling crowd of the festival, Lee Hyun-woo, Han Seo-yeon, and their triplets Ian, Yil, and Yijun had their fateful reunion. Hyun-woo was shocked by Seo-yeon's confession and the children's existence, but an indescribable joy and a strong sense of responsibility surged within him. He took Seo-yeon's hand and embraced her, comforting her for the past 3 years of sorrow and pain. Seo-yeon, in Hyun-woo's warm embrace, poured out all the emotions she had suppressed for so long, weeping uncontrollably. Ultimately, the court dismissed Lee Ji-hoon's paternity lawsuit and granted Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon full parental rights and custody of the triplets. Lee Ji-hoon received appropriate punishment for his crimes, and all his wrongdoings were exposed to the world. He would spend the rest of his life in prison, repenting for his sins. Seo-yeon, I'm sorry. I made things difficult for you and the children. Please forgive me, Hyun-woo whispered softly, stroking her hair. His voice held deep regret and sincere love. Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon overcame all adversities and finally found true family happiness. They healed each other's wounds, supported each other, and completed their true love. The children grew up happily in the love of their mom and dad, and their family became even stronger. They ushered in a new era for Hwangryong Group and gave hope and courage to many people. Now they were no longer just a CEO and a designer. They were each other's strongest companions and everything in their lives. Their love was a true love that transcended everything. Seo-yeon looked up and met Hyun-woo's gaze. His eyes were filled with boundless trust and responsibility towards her. She instinctively knew that he would not abandon her and the children. The anxiety and fear that had weighed her down for so long seemed to disappear from her heart. As Lee Ji-hoon's paternity lawsuit was dismissed and all his wrongdoings were exposed to the world, Lee Hyun-woo and Han Seo-yeon's family finally found true peace and happiness. Hwang Ryong Group, under Hyun-woo's outstanding leadership and Seo-yeon's exceptional abilities, solidified its position as an even stronger and more respected corporation. Their love, overcoming all adversities and trials, grew even stronger, and the triplets, Ian, Yil, and Yijun, grew up bright and healthy amidst the overflowing love of their father and mother. They were now entering elementary school, learning the joys of new knowledge. "It's okay, Hyun-woo. I'm glad to meet you now." Seo-yeon smiled faintly. Her eyes held both pain and new hope. On a bright spring day, Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon visited a quiet suburban park with their triplets. Under the warm sunlight, the children ran across the lawn, laughing joyfully. Ian led his siblings, hiding behind a tree for a game of tag, while Yil picked beautiful flowers from the flower beds to give to her mother. Yijun, holding his father Hyun-woo's hand, continuously showed his playful charm. Hyun-woo smiled at the children's bright faces, and Seo-yeon, watching Hyun-woo and the children, was immersed in happiness. The two took the children's hands and left the festival grounds. Hyun-woo put Seo-yeon and the children in his car and headed to his mansion. In the car on the way to the mansion, Hyun-woo constantly talked to the children. He called each of their names, showing interest in them. Ian, Yil, and Yijun, meeting their father for the first time, bombarded him with curious questions. Hyun-woo took Seo-yeon's hand and sat on a bench. "Seo-yeon, all of this feels like a dream. Your and the children's arrival in my life is the greatest blessing," Hyun-woo said, kissing Seo-yeon's hand. His eyes were filled with deep love and gratitude for her. "Daddy, where do you live?" Ian asked. "Daddy, do you like cotton candy too?" Yil said. "Daddy, I want to ride a cool car like yours too," Yijun shouted excitedly. Seo-yeon teared up at Hyun-woo's warm words. "The same goes for you. Hyun-woo, thanks to you, I was able to pursue my dreams again and form such a complete family. You gave me a new life." Hyun-woo answered each of the children's questions gently. His face no longer held the cold, perfectionist CEO's demeanor. Only a warm father's smile for his children filled it. Seo-yeon's heart swelled with emotion as she watched Hyun-woo. She felt relieved that she had found a true father for her children. The two thus confirmed their love for each other, sharing a deep embrace. Their love, which began with a chance encounter 3 years ago and endured countless misunderstandings and trials, ultimately overcame everything and found true happiness. They were each other's most steadfast support and everything in their lives. After arriving at the mansion, Hyun-woo prepared everything for Seo-yeon and the children. He decorated a room for the children and prepared their favorite toys and clothes. He also made sure Seo-yeon could rest comfortably. Seo-yeon was deeply moved by Hyun-woo's thoughtfulness and consideration. She felt that he was genuinely approaching her and the children. A few months later, Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon held a grand wedding. All the executives and employees of Hwang Ryong Group, business figures, and close acquaintances, including Seo-yeon's friend Jimin, attended to celebrate their marriage. Seo-yeon, wearing a wedding dress she designed herself, radiated as a beautiful bride. Hyun-woo walked down the aisle holding her hand, wiping away the happy tears streaming from her eyes. The triplets, Ian, Yil, and Yijun, served as flower children, following their mom and dad. They looked like the happiest family in the world. However, a question still lingered in Hyun-woo's mind that he hadn't asked Seo-yeon. Why had she hidden her exceptional design talent and lived working at a restaurant in a fishing village all this time? Why had she hidden her identity from him and struggled to raise the children alone? Hyun-woo cautiously approached Seo-yeon to uncover the truth about her past. After the wedding, Hyun-woo and Seo-yeon went on their honeymoon with their triplets. They spent a delightful time with the children on a beautiful beach. The children played happily, showered with their mom and dad's love. Hyun-woo built sandcastles with the children's small hands, and Seo-yeon collected seashells with them on the beach. They looked like a perfectly happy family. One night, after the children had fallen asleep, Hyun-woo sat facing Seo-yeon in his study. A warm cup of tea was placed on the table, and candlelight flickered softly. Hyun-woo took Seo-yeon's hand and looked into her eyes. Hwang Ryong Group prospered even more under Hyun-woo's leadership and Seo-yeon's creative management. Hyun-woo strengthened the group's social responsibility and presented a new vision for sustainable growth. Seo-yeon, as the head design director, elevated Hwang Group's fashion brand to a global level. Her designs were widely loved around the world, and she became a fashion icon. Seo Yeon, please tell me honestly, what happened that night 3 years ago? And why did you have to hide your talent and live such a difficult life all this time? Hyunwoo's voice was gentle, yet contained an earnest desire to know the truth. Ian, Yil, and Yijun grew up to be bright and wise children under Hyunwoo and Seoyeon's love and guidance. They achieved excellent academic results at school and showcased various talents. Loved by many people, Hyunwoo and Seoyeon felt great fulfillment and happiness watching their children grow. They taught their children everything about the world, and the children became their mom and dad's pride. Seoyeon took a deep breath. She told Hyunwoo everything in detail, from her encounter with Kim Young-hee, the night she was drugged, to how she ended up in the hotel room. She confessed that she had fallen into Kim Young-hee's trap. She explained that she feared her career would be ruined because of it, and that she had no choice but to abandon everything and leave to raise the children alone. As time passed, Ian, Yil, and Yijun grew into fine young adults. Ian followed in his father Hyunwoo's footsteps, participating in Hwang Group's management and demonstrating outstanding leadership. Yil inherited her mother Seoyeon's talent and became a renowned fashion designer. Yijun became a free-spirited artist, bringing beauty to the world. They all achieved their dreams and lived happy lives. I thought Kim Young-hee did this out of jealousy for my talent. She tried to bury my career and steal my designs. Seoyeon sobbed. And I was afraid of burdening you if I told you about the children. Afraid that you would hate me. Hyunwoo and Seoyeon, even as an old couple with gray hair, still loved each other passionately. They walked hand in hand in the park, reminiscing about the past over a warm cup of tea. Their lives were filled with numerous adversities and trials, but they overcame everything together and found true love and happiness. Their love, along with the surprising gift of triplets, would shine forever. Hyunwoo was shocked as he listened to Seoyeon's story. He was enraged by Kim Young-hee's conspiracy, but at the same time, his heart ached as he imagined the pain and loneliness Seoyeon must have endured. He felt sorry that she had to bear everything alone for so long. Their story, beyond a simple romance, will be remembered as a moving epic that showcases human resilience, the preciousness of family, and the value of true love, blossoming even amidst adversity. Lee Hyunwoo and Han Seo-yeon and their triplets thus lived happily ever after. Seo-yeon, I'm sorry. I didn't know your pain. I failed to protect you. Hyunwoo took her hand and wiped away her tears. I will never forgive that Kim Young-hee. I will make her pay for her actions. The next morning, Hyunwoo summoned Hwang Group's legal team. He ordered a thorough investigation into Kim Young-hee. He vowed to uncover all the evil deeds Kim Young-hee had committed against Seoyeon 3 years ago and bring her to justice. He promised to protect Seoyeon and the children from any further danger. Hyunwoo offered Seoyeon the position of head design director at Hwang Group. He didn't want Seoyeon's exceptional talent to go to waste. He promised to provide all the support necessary for Seoyeon to pursue her dreams again. Seoyeon hesitated for a moment at Hyunwoo's offer. She wanted to return to Seoul and pursue her dreams, but she was worried about the children's safety. Hyunwoo, because of the children, if I go back to Seoul, the children might be in danger, Seoyeon said with a worried voice. Hyunwoo took Seoyeon's hand. It's all right. Seoyeon, I will protect you and the children. All of Hwang Group's security systems will guard you and the children. Don't worry about anything and pursue your dreams. In the bustling heart of Seoul, the ballroom of a luxurious hotel was bathed in dazzling lights and elegant music. The after-party for Hwang Fashion Week, where titans of the Korean fashion world gathered with emerging designers, was buzzing with excitement. The dress code was black tie, and attendees showcased their presence with elaborate yet sophisticated outfits. However, Han Seo-yeon, even amidst the splendor, shone with a unique brilliance. She was an emerging designer, but her intuitive and original designs had already garnered significant industry attention. Today, she had successfully presented her first collection, receiving numerous accolades. Unaccustomed to the spotlight, she felt a sense of pride but was simultaneously overwhelmed by fatigue. Seo-yeon stood in a quiet corner, sipping champagne. Her eyes held a complex expression. Along with the joy of success, an unknown anxiety lingered in a corner of her mind. Envy and jealousy always followed her. In particular, the gazes of some established designers, who acknowledged her talent yet secretly tried to undermine her, made her feel even more intimidated. Tonight, she wanted to be free from their scrutiny. After returning as the head design director of Hwang Ryong Group, Seo-yeon quickly proved her capabilities. Her intuitive and original designs elevated Hwang Ryong Group's fashion brand to the next level, and she once again garnered attention from the fashion world. Under Han-woo's steadfast support, she freely pursued her dreams. Seo-yeon, congratulations. Your collection was truly magnificent. Park Jimin, her friend and fellow designer, approached with a bright smile. Jimin was Seo-yeon's only support and closest friend.